everyone. I know I haven't been on for a little while, but I have just been talking to God, and He's been helping me a lot. I wanted to tell you what He has been doing for me. It's so amazing. And this moon is a full moon, okay? It is gorgeous. When I should have filmed it when it came up over there, but it is gorgeous. This probably doesn't do it justice at all. But I just wanted to share with you what God has blessed me with concerning Nelson, and also I had a dream, and then my older daughter, had 2 really prophetic visions. But I kind of wanted to go over some things, and I hope it doesn't take too long to do this. First of all, Nelson, if you don't know, he was my emotional support chihuahua, and he was like an angel in a dog's body. I know that God sent him to me from the very beginning because of how it played out and how I was supposed to get another dog that I had my mind set on. And the girl kept saying bad things about the dog, and I'm like, you don't want me to buy him, right? She goes, well, there's somebody else that wants him, and they're close by. I said, go ahead. I mean, at that point, I was thinking it was kind of weird, and then I saw Nelson in the paper, and he was the perfect match. So God placed Nelson into my heart, into my home. So he died on May 1st, and I was very upset. I'm still not over it, but I was so distraught, and I was sitting on the love seat in the front porch, and I said, Jesus, I am so much in tears over this. And I looked up and I said, is he with you right now? What is he doing? And as soon as I said that, like just as soon, a huge hummingbird came and started squawking and flying around my head. And I'm like, wow, okay. Because he uses hummingbirds with me, and that's my dreams that I've had about tsunamis. He used hummingbirds to warn me about the earthquake from California that shook my house. So anyway, I don't want to go into all that, but that's what he does. And this time it was in a good way, not a warning. So then the next day I went outside, and I was still upset, and I said, Lord, why can't I get over this? I'm so upset. Immediately another hummingbird came and flew by my head. So then another day I went out, I was really sad, and it was the third. This time it was different. A cute little baby hummingbird comes over on the tree branch right above my head. I'm like, no way. And I'm looking up at him, and I'm like, Nelson, is that you? And I know some of you guys might think that's weird, but really, it's not. So I looked up, and I'm like, Nelson, is that you? And he started showing off his wings, and he was chattering. Never have I had a hummingbird do that. He stayed there for a while, and I'm going to put that video at the end. So yeah, it was really awesome. And then I went outside the next day, and the 4th hummingbird comes flying by. So yeah, God is really good. I miss you. I miss you, Nelson. How's that, Stevie? She flew away. I wish I would have got that. But I didn't have my camera out here. You want to get something to drink? You can get something to drink. He's just staying there all calm. I don't know what happened if I got closer. Oh, there you go. Say hi. Yeah, there he goes. What? Oh, my goodness. Hey, Nelson. How long you gonna stay out here, huh? How long you gonna stay out here, Nelson? Huh? How long? He's still there. I'm like right there. Oh my gosh, the sun. Look at the sun. Ooh. He said hi to me. I'm like right there. I'm so close and he's just sitting there. Oh, there he goes. I miss you, Nelson. Oh, I miss you. You're a good boy. I'll see you soon in heaven. And say hi to Stevie for me. Well, I'm back outside and tonight is the sturgeon moon. I think that's what they call it. It is absolutely stunning. It's pretty orange. It's huge and it's just beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Sorry about that. Okay. So, yeah. I told you about how God has blessed me and I'm thankful. I wanted to mention something. I did have a dream back in 2017, and that was about being in Israel, and I was helping some people, and they were like gathering clothes together and putting them away. And I looked outside and it was very, very hazy, but I think that just represented how dark everything was, like spiritually. Now I had my son Richie with me, and we were watching. There was a big screen TV up there, and it was talking about the war. There was a war going on, okay? And I remember there all of a sudden it was scrambling, like what's the word? Like you know, like it was going out and stuff. Like the picture was going out. And I remember me and Richie I was like, you gotta, oh my gosh, you gotta, do you hear that? And I ran to this back room and there was a wash machine in there. And I saw a little like baby carrier, and there was a baby in the baby carrier. And I woke up. So I believe basically it means, you know, when the tribulation starts and Israel is going to be very busy. Now, I don't know about all the stuff that I saw with clothing and stuff like that, but the TV obviously meant war too. So it's kind of like all of it colliding at once, kind of. And I believe that the baby meant that the baby was born. So we were leaving, and I think Richie means ruler. I can't remember, ruler or king or something. So yeah, I was thinking of that. And then, I've always been prophetic when it came to my grandson Jonah. The story behind that is in September, I believe it was September 6th or 12th. I said a long prayer and I put it up in a folder that said private. And I prayed for God to give my daughter Ashley a baby, because I know that she wanted one and was having trouble trying to get pregnant. And so I really prayed and gave it to the Lord. And after the prayer, I had a dream. Okay, I had a dream that I saw a little boy inside a playpen, and he was real small. I mean, he was probably like, I don't know, maybe 1 year old, maybe. He was standing there against the rail, inside the playpen, but he had dark curly hair. And I'm like just staring at him, and all of a sudden I heard a voice say, "He looks Jewish." And I woke up and I pondered on that for so long. I'm like, Lord, what does that mean? What do you mean he looks Jewish? And I thought maybe it was a prophetic dream about Israel, and I'm thinking, what? Like, what? I really didn't know. And so I prayed, and then he said, he looks Jewish. And then it came to me. When Ashley first met her husband, well, she was telling me about how she liked this boy, and his name's David, right? And I texted her and I said, Ashley, can you send me a picture of him? So she sent me a picture, and the first thing I said back was, he looks Jewish, because he had dark curly hair, and he does to me he looks more Jewish now than anything, but he isn't. He's actually Puerto Rican, and I think he's Mexican. But he does look Jewish more now than anyway. He looks like a rabbi, I swear. So anyway, I said, oh my gosh, that's it. That's the baby. That's the little boy. So I called Ashley immediately. I told her about the dream. I told her about the prayer. And she's like, well, I don't know about that, Mom, but I'm not pregnant. And I think I called her, October. I think I called her in October, or it might have been September that I had the dream, but I know it was either September or October where I did all that. So I did the prayer in September. So she calls me and she says later, like I think it was in December, because it had to be in December, because I remember we were thinking it was a Christmas gift, right? And we were so excited, but she was pregnant. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then we had to find out later if it was a little boy or a little girl, right? So yeah, it was really amazing, everything that worked out totally. And the Lord is good, and she named him Jonah, and that's so prophetic, you know. There'll be no sign but the sign of Jonah. And so it's always been very prophetic about me and Jonah. And he doesn't really talk too much. He loves Jesus right now. He's so, like, he's going to church with my other daughter. And he just really loves Jesus now. He's very smart, intelligent. But when he was 4 years old, he was at my house one night, and his dad, like, used to do rap and stuff. Not too much anymore. He does other music, but he's a writer and a singer. So Jonah's very smart, and he picks up on all this stuff. He's very, very highly intelligent. Very, very intelligent on the computer. He figures out, he could figure out stuff so quickly. So when he was 4, he was in my house, and I was sitting on the couch, and he was sitting on the floor with some toys. And all of a sudden he starts rapping, this free rapping, and he's like, gonna disappear, disappear, gonna disappear. Fly off the roof, people gonna disappear. House is gonna fall, people gonna disappear. And I looked at him, and I'm like, what did you say? I didn't say it, but I was just thinking in my head, what did you say? So I just kept listening. He just kept rapping. And I knew that he was talking in the spirit. And it was amazing. And it's prophetic with him from the day one, but he doesn't prophesy like a lot or anything. Now I haven't heard much. Jill will tell me if something is new with him, but I was so amazed and so happy when he did that. And so, and I know that the other dream tied in where I bought the dress. It was $100, but it was free. And Ashley was pregnant. We had to hurry because the baby was about to be born. Okay? And then the wedding. It was on May 17th. Okay, you got the 7, and she was 26. And I know that was God. That was a time marker, 726. So, I know these things they're coming to pass, They've come to pass, so many things. And I know you guys know that we don't have much time. So I thought about Jonah again. And, there is a blood moon coming on September 7th. And Jonah's birthday is September 7th, you guys. And he is going to be 8 years old. And 8 is the number that is surrounding us. Everyone knows, like Trump's number, and it means new beginnings. And I just know this whole thing is prophetic. I can feel it. There were some other things I was going to say. But, this whole thing with Trump is prophetic. Benjamin Netanyahu, it was prophetic about his name, and being chosen to be prime minister. God has been speaking. And we know that they are going to divide Israel. And these things are going to get worse. We had that earthquake. What was the earthquake in Russia? 8 something. We got those numbers, 8s coming in. So yeah, I do believe. So, all that going on. And then my daughter, Jill, she was in church a couple weeks ago. And she had 2 visions. And they were strong visions. And she goes to a prosperity church. But I know that she's saved. And she said the pastor started talking about the end times and said Jesus is coming back and you need to prepare. This is a prosperity church, you guys. So some of the churches are waking up. Okay? Some of the churches are waking up. They're not all lost. So the first vision she had, she was just sitting there in church praising God, and she had Jonah with her. All of a sudden, the vision was so strong, and she said it lasted a while. And it was an open eye vision. She saw Jesus in the clouds, and she said his whole framework, everything, it was all Jesus. And she said she noticed something in his hand, and all of a sudden, this thing unraveled like, well, let me tell you, it was the scrolls. It was the scroll. And it completely unraveled in slow motion all the way down. And when she saw the scroll, it had all these gold letters on it. And then she sat there and she just watched this beautiful scroll with the letters, right? And then she heard the voice and it said, "It is time. It is time." And the vision ended. So then the next night at church, she had another vision. She said it was disturbing. She had a vision that there was many people were running out of the casinos in Las Vegas. You know, that's where she lives, and I live near there. I live closer, though, to the California border. But anyway, I heard this vision, and she said that all these people were just running and frantically screaming out of the casinos, going into the streets on the Strip in Las Vegas. And if you've ever been to the Strip, it's known for its popularity for the sights. You can see so many things when you just drive down the Strip. And they were frantically running out of casinos into the Strip, and they were crying out for Jesus. Jesus, help me. Jesus, save me. And everything was on fire. She looked all around, and everything was on fire. The casinos. And then the vision ended. So I wanted to share that. But last of all, my dream I had a dream in the beginning of March. Prayed on it and pondered on it, but I just didn't feel like I wanted to talk about it. I just didn't want to talk about the dream. It was very strange, but the Lord has given me many dreams about things, including human trafficking and all that stuff. I'm sure you guys, if you're on my channel, you've seen that dream in 2016, and it came to pass because with the whole, rapper thing guy. I don't want to say his name. Starts with a D. With all of that came to pass. The only thing that didn't is the rest of the story of that. The rest of them that need to be reprimanded, but that's all in God's hands. But I've had a lot of really cool dreams, a lot of dreams about other things, and He knows that I can handle it. He knows that I have been fit for that, and so I don't get scared. So anyway, in March I had a dream. I woke up and I'm thinking, whoa, okay, this was very, very weird. Things just kind of kept going on in my life, and then Nelson got sick, so I completely didn't want to focus on that dream. I was completely focused on Nelson, trying to get him well, and then he died on May 1st. So it's August now, and I'm deciding to tell the dream and just, see what you guys think. So anyway, I woke up, and it was this is the dream. I woke up out of my bed. It was completely dark in my house, okay? Like, no lights would go on. I kept hearing noises. I kept hearing people talking outside. Just a very strange feeling I had. I ran to the laundry door, which leads to the garage door, and I opened the garage door by the laundry, and I looked in the garage, and my car was flat. Like, the whole front end was flattened against the garage wall. Like, I'm not talking about getting your front end smashed in. I'm talking about the whole thing was just flat and smooth at the end, and like it was the strangest sight. So then I ran out of there and shut the doors, and I ran to the back here to my sliding glass door, and I looked out, and in the sky there was this huge round object, and it had lights, and I just looked at it like, oh boy, what can this be? And all of a sudden, all these, like it was giving birth to all these little mini-me's of that object, and they were all over the sky, and there were lights. I just remember there were lights, and they were all over the sky, and I only heard, I think it was 2 words. Very strange. I'm looking at the lights, and I hear restrictions off, restrictions off, restrictions off, and I woke up. So, I pondered on that one. I do believe now that it's going to be a blackout. No lights anywhere. And then I believe that the car meant that nothing will work. Everything will be flatlined. Completely off. You won't be able to drive or anything because it'll be like an EMP. And I believe that the restrictions off means that they're free to, they're like free to do their thing now. So that means that it's going to be like an alien invasion. That's what I believe. And just like demons, fallen angels, that type of thing. But we know aliens aren't real. They're fallen ones. So I believe that that's going to be everything that happens, but we'll be gone. We're about to be raptured soon. So I just wanted to share that with you. Very strange, but I can handle it. I've handled a lot of dreams from the Lord, and I've asked for most of them. And I just don't want you guys to be scared, because we won't be here. But I don't, I know something's coming, but we're going, something's coming down, we're going up, and no need to be filled with fear. I want you just to dwell on the beautiful visions, the scroll, and it's time. I believe it's time. We're running out of time. So just share the gospel to whoever and whenever you can. Pray for everyone. Pray for my family, you guys, and I'll pray for everyone who needs it, and believe in the gospel if you're not saved. 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4. Believe that Jesus died for you personally. Your sins, he died for them all. If you believe that he died for all your sins, and that he was buried and then rose again on the third day, you will be saved. The gospel is not complicated. It is as simple that a child can believe it. And I also believe that Nelson is in heaven waiting for me. Don't think your pets are not there, because these are your heart's desire that God gives you, which is good, nothing evil. Nelson was an angel in disguise. I can tell you more about that later. That he was everything. Everything good. So we have trials, you guys. We go through trials, and that was definitely a hard trial for me. But I know he's with me. Every night I feel his presence with God, and I know that, some of you guys may not believe they go to heaven, but I'm telling you, I've had many dreams. Your animals are up there. I've had strong visions of my horses that died. They are up there. 150, 250, 1,000%. I heard from the Lord. So it's time, you guys. The scrolls are getting ready to be raveled out. They're unrolling. We're running out of time. There's so many other things I could tell you, but I can't think of everything. So keep praying. Pray that Jonah has something prophetic to say. Pray for your families, all the lost. Get your left behind letters left, out, and ready. And the Antichrist is about to rise. So I love you guys, and if I don't see you here again, I'll see you in the air. Good night.